You're not gonna be able to fully attract these women, and in the moment when a guy is trolling you and trying to steal your woman away from you, those emotions are gonna come up and it's gonna make you reactive in the moment. What's up guys, it's Patrick James and welcome to another it's Q&A Friday. As you can see on the whiteboard, I'm really excited for this Q&A. So by now you should know that the way these work are, I'm gonna take any questions that you guys leave on my Monday and Wednesday video every single week, and I'm gonna rapid fire answer them in this video. So without any further ado, cue the music, let's get going. All right, so the first one, Rudely F. Butts. He said, you ever date a cougar? If yes, would you recommend? I'm 24 and I know a lady that's like 40. She looks pretty good. What interests me most is probably her maturity. I feel like I could learn a lot. All right, so do you know this girl or have you flirted with her? Is there already sexual tension with her, or does she just happen to be a cougar that you find attractive? That said, me personally, I don't want to personally date a woman who's 10 to 20 years older than me. I've been there before and I've definitely done it, and some of the best women in bed that I've hooked up with have been cougars. Now that said, my girlfriend right now, she's younger than me and cougars just aren't my style. But if you like cougars, why do you need my approval to go for it? Hell yeah, go for it, man. Next question, Sumesh Kumar, how to act in front of my college batchmate whom I have to face every day, who offered just friendship to me and I rejected friendship and have been in no contact since. Emoji with no mouth. How should you act in front of her? I would recommend acting the way you would normally act in front of her, regardless of if she likes you or not, because you're naturally the source of fun and positive emotions everywhere. And it's not like you just challenge and disqualify and tease because you want to attract them and you have to go into attraction mode. But no, that's just naturally who you are. That way, everywhere you go, when you're on your path, going on your purpose, going about your day and going to your classes, the women that happen to get a hit of your unique brand of charisma and your new unique brand of you, they are naturally attracted to that. So if this girl doesn't want to date you or be attracted to you or have sex with you or anything, and she just wants to be friends, fuck it, dude. Screw it. Don't get too attached to her because one, you're an abundant guy and you have a lot of other options around this world. Two, you're naturally attracting everybody along the way, as we already discussed. And three, if she can sense that this doesn't affect you emotionally when she just wants to be friends with you, how do you think that's gonna make her feel when she can sense that she has zero power over you? Obviously, it's going to make her attracted to you. The only way it won't work is if you only ignore her just for the simple fact of trying to attract her, right? Don't try to attract her. Try to be the naturally most attractive version of yourself with everybody you come across, and I promise you, it'll work out for you in the end. Next question. This one's a long one. Jurassic Gamers TV. Bro, so I have this chick. We talk about all things like sex and making out too. One day, things got a little hot in a good way, and she even shared some almost naked pics with me and said she is doing fine for the first time and she's a virgin and conservative girl. Dude, use some punctuation. And she said she wanted to make out with me in a theater because that is the only place we could go. But once the day came, she said she didn't want to do that anymore. I don't know why. And we still talk about sex, but she is saying she doesn't want to make out. Why would this be? You know what you're doing, bro? You're making the #1 mistake I see a lot of newbies make, or especially guys who have never actually improved their own game yet. You're making one of those beginner mistakes, which is when you finally start talking about sex with a girl, whether or not she's sexually adventurous and experienced or not, and whether or not you're experienced or not, when you get on the topic of sex with a girl, it feels good. It feels risque. There's a lot of tension there. And it's almost like a cheat code to creating sexual tension in a conversation. But the only way you're gonna kill the tension is by doing what you're doing, and that is being afraid to deviate away from the topic of sex. Because if sex was actually an abundant thing for you, then you would have no problem talking about it like you already are. But if it was truly abundant for you, then you would have no problem talking about anything else that isn't sexual related just as easily as you can talk about sex. You can talk about sex one second, you can talk about crock pots the next second. It doesn't really matter. But here's the thing, man. If you're the type of guy who gets on the topic of sex and it feels good and you feel like there's a good chemistry between you and this girl, but then you are afraid to change it away from sex, or when you go to do the make out with her or go to kiss her, it feels forced, not only for you, but also for her, that's where the tension gets killed. And honestly, man, it sounds like this girl likes you. The only reason she's not into it is because you're planning on making the move, and it's like this thing, it's like this event that you guys are looking forward to in the future, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be spur of the moment. It should be emotionally driven and passion driven and tension driven, not logically driven, if that makes sense. So stop trying to plan this stuff out. Continue to work on your game and be the guy who can create tension in the moment naturally and organically without having to rely on the crutch of the topic of sex. That said, next question. Clinton McKinson. I kept asking this girl out, but she kept saying no. I guess like you said, she doesn't find my text to her as interesting. No, bro, that's not at all what I'm saying here. And in fact, if I ever said that, or if somehow I made you believe that I was intending that, that's not what I meant to say, all right? What I'm trying to get at here is when you go to text a girl, whatever text you send is not gonna matter near as much as her impression of you that she already has. If she already sees you in a very attractive light, if there's already a lot of sexual chemistry there, then your text to her could be, hey, what's up? And she'll still respond positively. For example, just think if Ryan Gosling, in his prime, ladies man, texted the girl that you're freaking out about, how do you think she would respond if he just said, hey, what's up? She'd probably freak out. She would probably run on the top of the mountaintops, tweet about it, screenshot it, send it to all of her friends. But when you send, hey, what's up? What's the difference there? Her impression of the person on the other end of that text conversation. So my advice to you is not necessarily to think, what is the better text I can send here? Or maybe my texts just suck. Stop playing the victim and start thinking, all right, clearly there's not enough attraction here. Clearly there's not as much investment and tension from her as there is from me. So how do we flip that around? Well, obviously the answer is improve yourself and improve your ability to attract her in the first place. R says, what if you personally know the dude that keeps trying to cock block? Dude at my house party, we had his one night stand girl over and he was so salty I was kissing her all night. How do I handle him? Tell him to fuck off? Absolutely not. So you've already heard me talk a lot about, especially in this book, shit tests and how to handle shit tests. And literally one of our upcoming coaching calls for a Legendary Game, my private coaching group, we're actually going deep on this topic soon. So what I would recommend is handle a cock blocking guy the same way that you would handle a girl who's testing you, who's trying to poke holes in your frame. And I'm not saying this because he's trying to shit test you, no bro, but think about how do you normally handle a shit test? By being non-reactive to it or with humor. And in reality, that's how the high value guy would handle a guy who's trying to cock block him with the girl that you have chemistry with in that moment. Because in reality, if you are that guy who's sexually abundant, who's teasing and challenging and playful with everybody you meet, and women are naturally just attracted to you, then this guy's personal relationship with this girl who you just met, who maybe just happened to come to your party, their relationship has nothing to do with you and her interacting right now. And because it has nothing to do with you guys, when this guy tries to come up and troll you and tease you and cock block you, dude, you're gonna handle it like a guy who's just living the life and having a great time already would handle it, with humor, with non-reactivity. And if he gets confrontational, maybe you put him in his place, but I don't recommend going there, all right? I would not tell him to fuck off right off the bat. But what I would do is continue to be the source of fun and positive emotions. Be so charming that this guy can't even hate on you. And that girl, when she sees that this guy's not affecting you, even though she knows what's going on, then she's gonna be even more attracted to you. And honestly, man, what this comes down to is, are you gonna be the type of guy who gets reactive to external stimuli in your environment? When there's a hot girl over here, subconsciously, even though you tell yourself and Patrick James tells you to not seek her validation, does some little part of you deep down inside still want her validation? And any obstacle in the way, like a cock blocking dude, or the fact that she's in a group, or the fact that she might be standing next to another guy and you don't know if that's her boyfriend, are you gonna let that subtle urge to gain their validation, to gain their approval, to show everybody and prove to the world that you're the type of guy who has the best game in the world? If you can't get rid of that subtle urge to seek other people's validations, which a lot of people, it still exists, then I think you'd be a great fit to come to my upcoming event in September. You need to be there because this is the forbidden secrets to seduction. If you can't get rid of that subtle urge to seek validation, then no matter what you do, from my book, from our videos, it's still not gonna come across as the most charismatic version of you. You're not gonna be able to fully attract these women, and in the moment when a guy is trolling you and trying to steal your woman away from you, those emotions are gonna come up and it's gonna make you reactive in the moment. I don't want that for you. So if you're interested in coming to this September event, the spots are almost gone. Just shoot me an email to rawdatingadvice@gmail.com with the subject subject line private boot camp, and we'll chat to see if you're a good fit to take one of the few remaining spots. Next question. Nigel said, I met this girl who was very obviously flirting in person a lot. We hung out quite a bit at an acting camp. She said she has a boyfriend but won't stop texting me. She's initiating conversation and wants to hang out, but I'm pretty sure she's into me. Ditch her or hang out? I'm just trying to avoid the friend zone. Here's the truth about the friend zone, man. The truth is, if you are truly the type of guy who's abundant and you see the world from an abundance mindset rather than a scarcity mindset, and you don't think this is the one girl who's perfect for you and I have to do everything I can to win her over and gain her approval, but in reality, you do what I talk about and be on the thriving few, the few of us who are on the thriving few, and you date from abundance. You say, all right, this girl is cool, but I'm not completely sold on her yet. So we'll see where this goes. I'm not gonna push for a certain outcome. I'm just gonna see how this chemistry plays out, and I'm gonna do what I can to be the most naturally attractive version of myself, spiking sexual tension as a natural byproduct of who I am. And if something happens, then great. If not, I'll be good because I got all these other options too. You know what I'm saying? So when you start thinking like that and you truly start living from that frame, from that mindset, and it becomes who you are, then you're not gonna ever get friend zoned again. And you're not gonna be asking me these types of questions. So, I don't even remember what your question is, but I do know this. If you're trying to avoid the friend zone with her and you really do like this girl, then become the type of guy that I just described, and she will be more attracted to you naturally as a byproduct. That's kind of the theme of today's video. So last question here. Where do you get these golden nuggets of info, mate? From Dante. Dante, man, the way I get these golden nuggets of info is lots and lots and lots of reference experience. I go out and I take way more action than anybody I know. And when I was in a place, a rock bottom place, I literally just talked about this on my email list, where I got rejected by not one, but two girls whose friend zones I was in. And not only was I rejected by them, but I confessed my feelings for them. And not only did they reject me, but the second one actually slept with another dude in my bed at my party. So if you want to talk about golden nuggets of info, this is not just golden nuggets I pulled out of the fucking ether. This is wisdom from years of experience and years of coaching guys just like yourself. So if you want to gain the knowledge that I have, you don't have to wait years like I did. You just got to get this book, 107 Proven Ways to Get the Girl, and literally the information that I know and hear about attracting women is in there. It's all for you and it's free. Just go to howtogetthegirlnow.com. One last thing, I did ask you guys in a poll on my community tab last week, literally last Friday, do you guys like this new upload schedule we have? And the overwhelming majority of you guys love this new content schedule. In fact, we were getting amazing compliments just like these that I'm popping on the screen right now. And you know, it's great to hear that you guys are loving this, so we're just gonna keep it up. So that said, if you wanna see your questions answered on our next Friday Q&A video, then just leave your comments and questions on the videos below of my Friday video or my Monday and Wednesday video, and you could see your question answered in my Friday videos. That said, if you're not already subscribed to the Raw Dating Advice family, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you get notified every single time one of these videos gets posted on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And if you want to come to our upcoming Raw Dating Advice only September boot camp, it's a different type of boot camp than you've ever been to before, because I can actually guarantee your results before the end of the weekend. Because unlike those other boot camps where a coach who doesn't really even care about you and charges you an arm and a leg just to show up to an event that he has no control over because it's a random venue, and he's gonna end up ditching you halfway through the night, I promise you, I hate those horror stories about all those boot camps, and this is not one of those. This is a boot camp where it's a completely controlled experience for 30 guys, where you're feeling the energy of the room, you're building the brotherhood with the other 30 guys there, and you're getting actual transformational training from me that weekend in a way that's completely designed to give you results before the end of the 3-day weekend experience. And if you want to come, like I said, we're only taking 30 guys. 5 of the spots are almost gone at the time I'm filming this, and the rest of them will sell out soon. So if you're interested, I wanna make sure you're a good fit, just send an email to rawdatingadvice@gmail.com. Have the subject line private bootcamp, and we'll chat, either you and me or you and one of my team members, and we'll chat to see if you're a good fit to come to this September bootcamp. That said, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Hope you enjoyed this one. Peace out.